Good morning. Oh, I'm lonely.
I fell asleep at the chair. I forgot to make coffee.
Oh, could you grab me in the cabinet one of my Claritin? Because in the blue bottle, I am feeling a little stuffy. Those seasonal allergies are starting already. You gotta love it. But you know what that means? I'll tell you what it means. It means spring sprint is in the air. Oh, getting thrown at by my dealer. It means there's money to be made. And with that, we'll take all the seasonal allergies the good Lord wants to bring, because I guess with every season there has to be a little hiccup, right? Hope everybody had a wonderful week. I hope it was filled with all positivity. If there were any hiccups, I hope they were easy ones. And I hope everybody just enjoyed and was blessed. I see a lot of friends rolling into the chat, so I'm going to hop right in. Oh, my word. What a pleasant surprise. First in the chat, I'm so surprised, but it's a pleasant surprise. KCB. Good morning. KCB, do you roll in early to see this beauty queen? I would. I
was up early too. I fell back asleep and I woke back up.
Oh, he was up early.
Anyway.
KCB, I hope you had a fantastic week. It's good to see you here. The reason for my existence besides this love. Henry Morawski, always a pleasure. Henry, I love your little emoji. You too are my sunshine. Good morning, Henry. David, good to see you here,
morning,
brother.
David. How are you?
Good to see you around here some more. It's good to have you here.
Well, today's a good morning.
He's in the chat a lot. I see him on the posts and whatnot.
My ultrasonic cleaner is running. Coffee is being made.
You know it's a good morning if you hear the little buzz of the ultrasonic going.
What would make this morning perfect would be that the snowblower I finished late last night, that I was on time to the T.
Oh, wait. Chris?
About commit.
Chris, did you see him here? You called me out, Chris, the last time. Chris,
I was
did you see him here?
But I fell asleep in front of the computer. I forgot to make my coffee.
Oh, couldn't I have said the same exact thing? Honey, you have to be here. I am so sorry. Just saying you're here is not enough.
That's not fair.
It's not enough. Well, I am so sorry, my love. Life is just so unfair. It's just full of unfairness and unjust.
So anyway, you guys remember that mousetrap snowblower video, right? Finally got the last parts in for it, which would just be belts.
And we're finally getting some of the mouse drops out of the driveway. Every time we get a good wind, you'll see a little ball of nest, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
It's like, you ever see the Western movies? It's like, it just goes rolling across the driveway. You got to admit it was gross.
So that snowblower is actually our most expensive repair this season. That repair was $575. I could care less about the money. I just want the space, because I scheduled my next machine, actually 2 machines, because this one is so big that I scheduled to the date. Hey, listen, it's going to be done Saturday, and we could do Saturday delivery. No problem. Touch base with her Wednesday, Thursday to confirm. And I texted her last night to let her know it was done. All of a sudden, she is not available till next week. If you could see the words that come out of my mouth, because it kind of jams me up. I do not keep customers' machines out. Neighbors, I don't have customers. Neighbors' machines outside. It's going to put myself in a weird position because I'm not putting my machines outside. What's kind of killing me also is this weather. It's still too cold, excuse me, to hook up my pressure washer. And it's kind of jamming me up because I try and clean things and try and sell them before the home line. I picked up that really nice Toro, a really nice Toro snowblower. It's going to be on the channel. I could already have that in storage and out of my way, but since I can't clean it, polish it, shine it, and put it away, it's kind of jammed me up, and I don't want to throw it into long-term storage only to bring it back out, because we had snow this season. So I believe that there is a great potential, even if there wasn't potential, even if we didn't have any snow, there's still potential to sell a snowblower. So when the time comes, if someone does want to buy it, I want to at least have it, pull out of storage, throw gas in it, see you later, love you, bye. Not try and clean it and detail it and do these little, I just want to get it done. When I put machines away for long-term storage, it is done, soup to nuts. There is nothing left for me to do.
It's yank and go.
Yeah, yank and go.
Yank and go. And I have to tell you, when we've
got offers on it, but I don't want to ruin the video.
When we put it into storage, we do it in such a, don't get me wrong, when something goes into storage, it does not mean the end until the next season, because we have been known to yank something out of storage and to go ahead and fire up a sale. But I will say, we make sure, or if I'm the one who's landing the sale for him, I make sure it's a done deal, so that when he's going ahead and gassing it up again and going through all the rigmarole of making sure we're pulling it out for a good reason, that it's see you later, love you, bye, and not returning to the homestead.
Especially when you're selling something out of season. Yeah. I always say two things, right? I was talking to my buddy Brian the other day. He stopped by. I actually have him doing some work for me because I just can't.
What's up, man?
I just can't. The only way for me to make progress at this point and move forward with my flipping aspect is I need to alleviate some of my repairs to my buddy Brian. So it's a good balance where I'm feeding myself and him, and I'm giving myself the opportunity to buy some time to accrued some stock for the spring sprint. I can't keep anything. So all of last week, I was literally getting off work, running around, grabbing stuff, bringing it home, trying to get it ready, and it sold anyway. So this week, I still made a valiant effort to do that, and I did. But I think this week, we didn't. All we sold this week was the landscaper package for $875.
But the weather was crummy, and I want to speak on what you do with your buddy. Two things, because I've been seeing this a lot in some of your videos and some of the convo. It's called delegation. It is no different than what I do in my side, one of my side businesses, and that's the remediation one. Now, what I do in my side business, and again, for my side business, the clientele that's reaching out to me, they're looking for someone who is almost at a doctorate level, if not a doctorate level. I've got almost 20 years experience. They want the top. But I do get people who reach out who need remediation, and they're not my higher end clientele. I may not have the time to service their needs or their children. And to be honest with you, I'm at a point now where I'm delegating my time, and so I have a few other teachers who work for me. And so I'll delegate out clients. And so it's at a much different price range. And so I have trained people to work for me where I get a cut of whatever they make off of those sessions. And so that I can dedicate my time towards more intense cases that require my expertise. It's no different for him. He's got to now, during the spring sprint, dedicate his time towards what's going to bring the quickest buck into the homestead. And he can't spend his time on certain repairs that are going to tie him up. So for some of you out there that are saying, I've been hearing a lot of things like, I don't have time to do repairs and flipping.
You make time. You don't sleep.
Here's the thing.
As you could tell.
Here's the thing.
You're always busy.
May I just finish, Love You Buck? I have a real opinion on that.
That's not true.
I can only speak for myself. He can only speak for himself. For those of you out there who this goes for if you say you can't do repairs and flipping, If you say you can't run a full-time career and then have a little hobby or a business, side business or a hustle on the side, if you want to make the time, you can. Listen, I go into work before everybody else. I'm leaving after everybody else, and I make the time for 2 side businesses. You know how? You know how? I'm getting up before most of you. I'm going to bed after most of you. When most of you are sitting and taking a full-blown lunch,
trip went well.
at the end of the day, I don't give myself that opportunity. I still have a lunch, but it's a working lunch. At the end of the day, here's my belief in life. That's our choice. But at the end of the day, everything is a choice, right? You have to make choices. At the end of the day, you can't sit there and say, I don't have the time. There's 24 hours in a day, right? What you do with that 24 hours, and I'm not saying don't sleep. I'm not saying don't eat. I'm not saying don't spend time with the people you love or your children. You can do it all. It's called time management, and it's called doing it well. Sometimes it means delegating a little bit. And you know what? Does he have to obviously give a cut off the top to the person who's doing some of these repairs for him? Absolutely. This person's not working for free. He's an expert at what he does too. But is he still making something too? We're all making something off of it. He's also building his rapport and his connection to the community. The bottom line is this. I want to ask you a question that I think you should ask yourself. You know what one of my favorite movies is? And for those of you out there, if you've never seen it, it's not just a holiday movie. It's a Wonderful Life. When I had cancer years ago, I remember as a kid watching that movie with my mother, and it kind of went over the top. When I survived cancer, I remember before cancer, being one of those people like time management. I was good at it, but I did my career. I went to worked my 9 to 5. I had my side remediation business going at that time, but it wasn't like, I wasn't over the top with it. I wouldn't have lost sleep. I would have, had a social life over getting that up and going. And then cancer hit, and I remember seeing that movie again, and it hit me in a whole different kind of way. And I want you to ask yourself sometimes, when you don't want to work harder than the next guy, when you say you can't handle the repairs and the flipping, when you say, for the ladies out there who don't do what these guys do, if you don't want to work a 9 to 5 and take care of the kids, and when the kids go to bed at night, do a little side gig, or if you don't have kids, if you don't want to work a little something more than your 9 to 5, but you want to complain that there's not enough money, like your dream list is big, how would you feel if one day, right, our time is all gonna come, right?
No, I'm gonna live forever.
I hope so.
That's what YouTube is for. We are gonna live forever.
But how would you feel, right? Think about this. And
this is our legacy.
I say this.
And yours too, and yours too.
Let me finish. I say this to myself often. How would you feel if you were sitting there and all the things that you naysayed, I can't do this, I don't have time for that, all the opportunities that you left on the table, what if they were staring at you around that bed?
Oh, like a detached garage.
Stop it. I'm being serious. All those opportunities that you were either too lazy, too tired, too selfish of your time, don't be in that situation, because you know what? All those missed opportunities, all those times we were too lazy or didn't want to do it or not put 100% in, those dreams, they're going to go to the grave with you. So at the end of the day, there's 24 hours in it. You can love your family. You can work hard. You can chop away at the dream list. Guys, they're going to give you a lunch break every day for the most part. You don't need to sit for 45 minutes and sit there and eat your peanut butter and jelly sandwich for 45 minutes. Eat your sandwich, If you got to, work on getting back to a few clients, or if you got to work on your side business, do a little computer work, whatever you got to, make the time is what I'm saying. Make the time. If that's what you want. But don't get out there and preach that there's not enough time, because I call BS about that, right? If that's what you want. If you want the big prize. What he and I do, there's no secret behind it. There's no secret sauce.
No.
In my mind, all day, every day, I love him to the moon and back. So of course, my respect for him is always going to be here. If your respect for the person that you lay next to at night is not here, that's a Dear Abby. You may want to talk to someone about that. But at the end of the day, you need to remind yourself that only you control your work ethic. There's no secret sauce. You're not going to wake up one day and be motivated magically. You have to motivate yourself. You have to, when you're tired, say, get the HELL off the couch, or get up off the table and get out there and work. You have to do it. Don't make excuses. And it's not going to be easy every day.
It's not. I'm getting tired.
And you know what? Once in a while, give yourself one day. We all do. But then you know what? The next day, you better grind harder than you ever grind before. That's all I'm saying. But please, I'm hearing just in this community, in my community that I work in, a lot of people saying a lot of things aren't possible. Listen, there's that old saying, you hang around in the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. Guess what? You work hard enough, you're going to succeed. Trust me, hard work will pay off, but you actually have to put the hard work in, right? Give it a try. That's all I'm saying. But please stop with the excuses. Not if you're about making the money. That's all I'm saying. These bags, they didn't come natural. They're not natural. They came from hard work. It's not a new fashion trend. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I have a couple of people.
And I will say, if you're so lucky to have what we have going on.
He's on Instagram. You have to check him out. He is not on YouTube. Instagram only. I cannot stress this more than enough. Him and Craig at NCM Engineering. Craig, I know before she was on her speech. Hope you had a great time camping.
If you're lucky enough to have that whole teamwork piece, like this week alone, it was awesome. We did sell this week. What are you talking about? You
did say we sold.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't sell. I'm sorry.
No, we just sold the homeowners package deal, which was very nice. And it's the concept of the more you buy, the more you save. But then the rest of the week, that was really...
Can we put you out there for a second? I think the Mr. undersold himself on his homeowners package.
I did, but it's his life.
I love you.
Profit was very, very well. And it is what it is.
I love his idea of the more you buy, the more you save. So he puts these homeowners packages together, and they soak it up with a biscuit here in New York. They love homeowners packages. These you'll get the gamut. You'll get someone, a new homeowner. Ooh, I'm feeling like I got the package. I could do it all. Or you'll get these guys who are starting like a little landscaping business. And
I posted
it's nice,
I posted the package deal on Instagram for you guys to see. So you have to go on Instagram to check that out.
But he's very firm on, you want to pick apart that homeowner's package.
The less you want. I mean, if you offer less, the less you get.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of a package deal is the more you buy, the more you save. So there's a couple of things you could do with that. I'm not just gonna reveal everything, but in the sense that, I had a bunch of items for sale for $8.75. Now, at the bottom, you want to, write down your individual prices for each item. Make sure that total of each item added individually is a respectable amount compared to the package deal. So that's what I did. I think I joggled the numbers just a little bit, but in the end, we did well.
I would have added maybe $50.
Yeah, $50. It is what it is.
But you know how the missus plays. I don't play around. That $50, nowadays, you see the gas prices lately, folks? Did you see the gas prices lately? But in all fairness, I set talk about teamwork. I locked in the sale.
Yeah.
I told my dear little buddy who was coming.
That was through the offer up, let go.
Have your money ready. I went into an online session for my business. I said, sweet love, Buttercup, be ready by this time with your package. I sent him off to the spot. Deal done. Deal done. Teamwork makes the dream work. You got a little question up here too, Love Bug.
All right, so I've been told they sell Rust-Oleum Red. Okay.
$50.
Hold on, which red for personal pace? Okay, so Toro Red. Toro Red is Regal Red Rust-Oleum. Now, I'm partially colorblind.
I usually come in here.
Sometimes, I believe, I don't know the end result.
Okay.
That the Troy-Bilt Red, which is a lighter red, is a match for some Toros as well. But at your discretion, I am partially colorblind.
But I've color matched.
The SR4s, Toro SR4s, 110% Regal Red. Toro Personal Paces, and how about this, non-SR4s, to me, is a mix or mashup of Regal Red and Troy-Bilt Red. It just depends how weathered the machine is before you get it. Obviously, when you put a coat of shine on it, whatever you guys do to make it spiffy and new and bring everything back to life, you will blend that in all together. Now, if you get caught painting a machine, which happens, it happened to me last week on the MTD Yard Machines lawnmower that I had the front end off and I had the motor off and I was painting everything. That was MTD Troy-Bilt, Red Rust-Oleum Red. That guy came and he says, oh man, you painted this machine. And I says, yeah, I did. There's no, I'm not lying about that. And my response was, listen, I have Belgian blocks on the side of my yard and my deck goes up against it and it scratches the deck. So I don't want the deck to rust. So I rather address the issues now so it increases the chances of the lawn mower lasting. And that also is part of its seasonal service. So then he asked me, then how come you didn't do the bottom of the deck? And I says, that's a project I didn't feel like undertaking yet. But if I was to hold on to a lawnmower for a couple more years, I absolutely would. Handed me my $150 and he was on his merry way. And the reason why he busted me for painting is that the weather wasn't the greatest. It got a little cold that night. So where the motor sat, got a little, I wouldn't say bubbly, but just a little rough and wasn't smooth. So one side was smooth and one side wasn't. So I think combination between the weather and the rust, turning the metal just a little porous, gave it away. But he handed me my money, he loved it, and it was on its merit. Do not be afraid to throw, a little bit of touch-up paint on a machine. I used to never do that. And these past 2-3 years I have, and I haven't really seen an issue. I've never lost a sale because I painted, a machine. I've been caught red-handed. Never lost a sale for that. I think if anything, it just goes part towards the seasonal service. With a well-written ad, it shows that you know and love and care for your machine, and that you can move it on to someone else who will hopefully enjoy it for just as long as you did.
Chris, I want to address this. So if that's your choice, fantastic. But I want to put this little nugget in for you to think about.
Good for you. I can't wait to be that stage.
Chris, number one, my mother passed at 53. She was just gearing up. That woman was fire. At 53, She was in the entire time that I was blessed to have her in my life. I saw my mother more vivacious, outgoing, starting up her own side business at 52. And she was loving life more than someone at 25, at 53. And it was snatched from her at 53. So if you want to tell me at age 60 that you're ready to just put a poopsie on, I'm 60 now, I'm not going to do much. Let me tell you, there's a woman who's 53 in the ground right now who would love to have your life because she would have put it to its fullest. Also, I have a woman I work with right now, 65. She's retiring late. Her husband owned a business. He's going to retire with her and leave his business to his son. They've decided this week that when they retire, they're going to open up another small business together at 65. They're not ready to put it. Buddy, life is precious. Life is what you make it. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I've witnessed, Chris, if Chris is in the chat right now, he's in our neighborhood. I don't know how old Chris is. Chris, I don't want to put an age on you, my man. But I got to tell you, he's a little older than us. I do know that. And I got to tell you, the things that he's involved in, his interests, his passions, he's alive. And he's got so many things he's into and passionate about. I've met so many people between the ages of 50 and 75 who have either found a zest for life and they're working harder, but by choice and because they're loving it. And I've also met people who are they've retired, sitting on a couch, doing this much.
They want to do that. They could do that. People are entitled to that.
But they're not happy.
That's a different story.
And so you have a real decision to make when you get to this point of life. If you're happy, great. But it isn't a price tag that you got to stop. It's going to be a personal choice if that's what you want to do. What I'm saying is do an inventory check at that point. If that's what you're going to choose. And Chris just wrote in the chat that he's 39, wink, wink. Chris, then I guess, I guess I'm older than you possibly by a little bit. Chris, I love it. Chris is awesome. I know I've said this before on the channel, but he's an incredible man. I'm sorry, Chris, if you can't fit your head through the door today, but maybe that's not such a bad thing. Tim Palmer, good to have you as always. I hope all was well and you had a good week.
I think you guys are starting to warm up. I seen one of Mick's videos. It looked nice and springly outside for you. So I hope you guys are getting ready to go. Maybe some aeration, some thatching, and then you guys will move on to your grass cutting.
Yeah. Oh, I've never looked for Toro paint.
I ain't buying no Toro paint off Amazon. No.
He said it, not me, Scotty.
No.
Scott,
Too much money.
I hope you're doing well. Love you. Gravely, man. I use Rust-Oleum, Regal Red, or Cherry Red, depending on the machine. I'm partially colorblind. Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's why everything is black.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Oh, interesting question.
No.
Yeah, not sandblasting.
Wire wheel.
Okay.
Pressure wash, wire wheel, blow dry, and then do what you got to do. Shine it up. See you later. Love you. Bye.
KCB, just keep a listen. Be safe while you're driving. Ken, amen. And it's funny, the couple that I just told you about, she's past retirement at my job. Her husband was more in automotive. And, some people just are so happy doing their passion, just doing what they love, and you can't take it away from them. Like, amen to that. It's like, God bless if you can and you want to. And what's nice about retirement? It's your choice, right? You can get up and decide if that's what you want to do for that day. But it's great to just keep yourself busy. Chris, your secret's safe with us. Chris is probably 39 and a half, if I'm guessing, maybe 40 around the corner. I'm looking forward to it in 7.5 years.
Congratulations.
I hear
That's
you,
awesome.
man.
Hopefully,
I hear you.
you have everything you need squared away. So when you do retire, you can do everything you missed out or you couldn't do because you were working.
Yeah.
And when my parents retired, I said the same exact thing. Don't think of us. Do whatever you got to do
It's all about you.
all about you.
Cruise, vacation,
Don't
whatever you
leave
love.
spend every penny you save. Spend it. Don't leave anything for us.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Here's the thing. If we're so foolish not to plan and take care of our needs, that's our bad.
Yep.
You worked so hard your whole life. You take care of you now.
That's why I get
know?
my work ethic from my parents. So
Yeah.
I mean, so you know.
Yeah.
When
Same
don't
here.
believe me, when I reach that, hopefully I'll have a detached garage and
Yes.
I'll treat it
Yes,
as a
we
motel.
will. Yes, we will.
I'll take care of projects that I've never had the opportunity to do.
Can
I probably won't even do repairs.
Can I come turn down your bed?
No, ma'am.
If this man thinks in my 60s I'm going to turn this down a notch, you're wrong. I'm going to still bust out the French maid outfit at 75. Oh, visual. I thought you said you love me forever. Ken, you want to know something? That's so true.
Yes.
My grandfather, God rest his soul, he was 84 when he passed away, and he retired from the school system as a music teacher. It was 65. Then he went to work for a music studio, giving private lessons. He stopped working there 6 months before he passed away. On the days he didn't go there, every morning that he didn't work, he still left the house and he went to go to a breakfast with my grandmother, either with the veterans that he still kept in contact with. It's so important that you still have a purpose and that you still have a reason to laugh and to smile. And you know what? For this man, if me at 75 and a French maid is what makes him laugh, hey, you know what? It'll probably make you laugh at least. Cringe, laugh. I hope laugh at least. Oh God, I'm scared now. The women in my family age very well. I will say that. I will say, I don't know on that level. I can't speak for God bless my mother, God rest her soul, but looks wise. God bless. Gravely is 62, and amen, man. Keep going, right? Like, you do you and what makes you happy. That's what life is about. Okay, here. Fun things to do with Tech Sparky. How are you?
Yep, fun. Tech Sparky's having fun with his radio show. Good morning,
Hello.
Robert. How are you? Mr. Bear Spares, Mr. Snowblower Parts.
Good to always see you, sir.
Absolutely. Hope all is well. Are you guys getting snow? We were supposed to get snow this week. And believe it or not, I was working on a weed whacker, throwing my head through the freaking roof, cursing like you couldn't believe. And it started, instead of snow, it was hailing. Nice little size balls. And that was it. And then it fizzled out into rain the next day, right?
Yeah.
And then we went from there.
Yeah. You know what? It's true. As Conker says, every day is Saturday. Didn't your friend Stevie, who retired, say that too when you talked to him the last time?
I said every day is Sunday.
Oh, every day is Sunday.
But he works. He keeps himself busy.
But he's great. Oh,
yes.
God. He used to work with this legend who went, Henry Morawski, if you're in the chat, I'm so sorry. I'm going to cheat on you for a moment. There was a legend that he worked with, this guy who he stole my heart like you did, Henry. And he just was salt of the earth, hard worker, so smart. And I miss this guy so much. He's retired now, but he still tinkers and works and just such a good guy.
Keeping himself busy.
He is a rough around the edges with his tongue sometimes,
yes.
But I love him.
Yes.
I love him.
So what he likes to do is he takes his dog for a walk and he'll walk all over and he'll drag home equipment and he'll fix it. He doesn't sell anything for profit. It's very that he said due to COVID, he felt like he helped a lot of his neighbors and a lot of his community. Aww. He was doing work on people's vehicles and all he asked was money for parts. And same thing with equipment. Someone came in with a non-running lawnmower, he would have one running and just give it to them unless they elected to repair their own. It's just something to keep him busy. because he is retired. And this is someone who worked 1 or 2 jobs for a very substantial amount of time in his life. So for someone like him to wake up and do nothing, especially with all his talent and knowledge, it's an absolute waste. So, he tried picking up hobbies like pool and stuff like that. And it said it just drove him nuts. He said he just felt his best having a wrench in his hand. And that's what he chooses. He said he's going to do that till his very last, breath. That's just the way he is. He said he tried. He adopted a dog. He's going to do all those other things to try and keep him maybe busy because he's been a mechanic, his entire life. He grew up in a different era. So he was turning wrenches at a beyond, young age. And, and he says that's just the way it's going to be till the very end. He said he tried picking a pool, he tried getting a dog and doing all these dog things. And, he loves his dog, takes care of his dog. But, he says he has to, take care of him. And he says taking care of him would be a wrench in his hand, just tinkering with something. He said he even fixed a toaster.
I love him. He's one of those guys I'll never forget. We got married. Yes. I mean, we're talking, this is someone who he worked with, like he wasn't an uncle.
Started.
But he had just started at this place.
The good old days at work.
And I'm going to cry because I just love him so much. And we were getting married. He just started it. This guy barely knew me, but we just had such a connection right away. And I remember him, we were in that frantic, right before the wedding time, we're at this point, he's ready to stuff me in a closet because everything's costing so much. We're at the point, do you really need flowers? Yes, it's a wedding. We really need flowers, and I'd be crying and this, that. Yep. And his mom would be with me and she'd be I'm trying to not cry because he's mad. And, because I wanted to make it a beautiful experience for his mom. And I didn't want to tell her your son wants to cancel all the flowers. And I would stop by his job, and back when you could just stop whenever you wanted, and I'd bring dinner or treats, and this guy would be there. And I remember him being he'd get out his wallet, like he was your uncle, your grandpa, your uncle. What do you need, honey? What do you need for the wedding? What do you need? And I just, do you have your dress? Do you have your shoes? I have no words for those kind of people that you come. He didn't want thank yous. It just came second nature to him to want to do for people and be there for people. And again, he's not this overly fuzzy wuzzy kind of guy. He's just a tell it like it is kind of guy. And, and then doesn't want thank yous in return. He's just a nice person. There should be a million of him in the world. But such an amazing guy, amazing mechanic. Grandpa Kevin, good morning. Good morning. And so that's his line too. Every day is Saturday. Mm-hmm. Every day is Saturday. Good for you. I know. I think I got 2 notifications when I got done with the day. I seen Ken went live in the middle of the day, and so did Mick. And I'm like, does anybody have a job? Well, Mick is in a different time zone. I'm like, what the heck is everybody doing? So good for you guys. I guess Ken had a half a day, or he was able to wig away, but that's awesome. Yes, forever is 65. Yes, I do want my man cave garage. Yeah. 110%. It'll 100% happen. 100%.
Good morning, Rich. Hello. How are you? Hope all is well.
Good to see you. Don't want to make sure I hate missing anyone. If you're taking the time to be here, that matters to me. Oh, see, I would still, Ken, here's the difference. I will love this man. Wrinkles, sagging hiney, no hair, gray hair, all hair. And when his little when his macaroons are touching his kneecaps, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? The love is there. Will always be there.
Good morning, Ellis. How are you?
Mechanics usually have worn out backs and knees by the time they're 60. It's hard work. There's no doubt about that.
So
there's no doubt about it.
I forgot to tell you, you just reminded me. So the guy who we were talking to, he's an older gentleman. He's definitely well beyond his 60s, and he did a lot of hard work, and he still doesn't skip a beat there is another gentleman that I actually call my Valentine. When I started with jobs, she knows his name is Val. He put
Another
40
great guy.
he put 40 years in my company. He immigrated to the U.S. He is not from this country. Served his country with honor, survived. He's very religious, which is fine.
Yeah.
Started working at my company 40 years later. And he just decided to just retire. He didn't have to, didn't want to. It was just, his time. He was very religious, and he felt that he had another calling. Apparently he is a very well-versed in his religion. He's also a very predominant, well-spoken individual. We know that firsthand. So he thought his another calling was to go around and preach the word of his religion. And unfortunately, I just ran into one of the guys, and they said that they saw him and he's not, doing well. He's having trouble walking, his knees, the whole nine. And it's very disheartening. I find it, very hard to believe. He is very healthy. He does not smoke, drink, none of that. He's in phenomenal shape for his age. And I don't know how or why that it happened. I believe that the human body is kind of like a machine. If you stop for an extended period amount of time, then it's very hard to keep going. You know what I mean? Or get up and go again. So if you maintain some sort of motion every day, then you will be fine. So the last time I spoke to this gentleman is when we had that power storm outage. So I was, every time we have some significant something, I call all the guys that I used to work with, these older guys, make sure they're okay. Someone's thinking about them, and, go from there. And actually, believe it or not, I didn't think anything of it. He didn't return, my phone call. But sometimes I feel, no news is good news. So, it is what it is. So now you just reminded me, I gotta find him if he's not going to answer, my phone call.
Good morning, Ellis. Good to see you.
Absolutely. I know you said you had a couple of riders going on this weekend. So I hope, those wheeling and dealings are working out for you. I have no wheeling and dealing set up for this weekend. Just a bunch of lowball offers. I'm willing to hold out. I have a guy who offered me just before $25 less for a lawnmower, and it's starting to warm up. I'm firm. I'm not going to let anything go, especially now. Once I get a substantial amount of mowers that I feel comfortable with, then I could start, wheeling and dealing back. Until then, every day after work, I'm acquiring. I was just telling her, and I think maybe I spoke to you guys about this in the past. 2 years ago, I met an individual who does what we do,
Sorry, Ken.
but not to our capacity and detail, in the sense that, he'll get a machine running and that's it. It's for sale. Whether it looks great or it looks like crap, it's for sale. The oil that's in it is the oil that he sells it with. The blade that's in it is the blade that goes with it, if he doesn't do anything. So he actually had...
Thank you, Tim, for stopping in.
We actually interacted a few times over the years, and then he finally brought it up. He says, "Are you reselling these for more money?" So I says, "Okay, since you asked." I says, "Yes, I sell them." I says, I says, well, you get them running, and they're to a point where I could do a little bit to it, service it, detail it, and put it up, for sale." And he says that his biggest, gripe, like any of us, no matter what you do, right? His biggest gripe is dealing with the general public. So I never met him at his house. I'd always meet him at the gas station. Maybe once or twice I met him at his house, just the way it worked out. But he always sold the gas station. Once we established a relationship, he would just leave a lawnmower out, and I would leave money some conspicuous place for him if our schedules did not align. And
Sounds so
our
wonderful.
wheeling and dealing was fair. He would make a little bit of money. He would not be honest about how we get his machines. I'd never asked, but he would just volunteer, and I'd just give him the sideways look. I'm being honest with you. Be honest with me. I don't care. So one day,
Thank you, Rusty.
he had a really, 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 really nice Toro personal pace self-propelled lawnmower, electric start with the charger, manuals, attachment, the whole nine. Beautiful machine. he wanted some good money for it, and we had a good relationship. I kind of beat him up on the price, and the premise was that, listen, you will not see this machine for sale for profit. It's not. That wasn't my plan in the first place. It was going right to my sisters. Her and her husband just bought a house, so I figured this would be a phenomenal mower, for them. They're both working, so in case, her husband was out working, all she has to do is hit the handle, hit the button, and she could do what she has to do. She would never do that, but, just in case if she ever wanted to do that. And within a short amount of time, I posted it. It's in my YouTube channel. I found one for free. Same exact machine. And I put that up for sale for good money. And I thought that he got upset with me. And I never heard from him ever again. And then, this week, we reconnected somehow, some way. And I ended up picking up.
I didn't get to see what you took out. I'm sorry.
I picked up 6 mowers from him this week, and he has more for me. So now it just comes down to me doing my thing to him, and getting him out of the way. Because you guys asked me last week, do I put up equipment for sale before I finish it? The answer is no. So I need to finish this before I can put it up for sale and take on new equipment. I don't mind holding on to machines. So everybody has that pile. So I have 2 piles. I have my project pile, and then I also have my finished pile. And the finished pile is basically almost like an assembly line. And if she's home and I'm not home, she can easily identify which machine is for sale and it's running, grab it, and sell it, instead of trying to go through this whole pile of missed stuff of what's running, what's not running, because I have multiples of the same machine. So, I try and keep it, that way. So that's been very good for me. I'm excited for this because I could have really used him during the COVID crunch, right? I ended up buying machines from another flipper. If I would have had him, forget it. But it is what it is. We're grateful. We're making a new contact. I honestly think that his wife was getting on his case that he had so much. And he's just happy to have me back because, like I said, we're blessed in the sense that I think we've built a brand that, when they see something posted by us, that they're getting, a quality machine and don't mind paying a little bit more compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's what we always talk about, always service everything you sell, always clean it. And remember, a little bit of paint goes a long way.
I'm going to tell you right now, the one thing that all day, every day, I am very big on looking at in my business and in this business. I like looking at competitors. He checks out ads more so because of buying. Like he checks out ads to see, what's available. I am very, very big on analytics. And that comes from my side business because one of my other side, but not my remediation business, but my other business is huge on analytics.
It's not even that competition. You're looking at other machines, and if someone's selling the same lawnmower as yours for the same amount of money or more or a little bit less, and they don't service it, or it looks like crap, or it's stuck in the weeds, use that ad to your advantage.
But where I was going with this, I hear you, honey. But where I was going with it is, what I've been noticing lately, there are a few individuals out there in our area that are starting to, I hate to use the word mirror image.
That's fine.
They're starting to mirror image ads. Allow me to finish. But I will tell you, the quality of the pictures still show garbage. It's very interesting to me when someone will mirror image an ad, right? A very well-written ad that talks about, it's almost like if someone were to advertise this hot Ferrari, right? And then all of a sudden there's a picture of like a Pinto. You know what I'm saying? That's like stuck in the weeds. As I tell the students, if you're going to show all your work, make sure all your equations match your work, right? Like if you're drawing a picture, if you're showing your thinking in a picture, make sure your equations match the picture. I'm also I like watching too, the people who do have quality photos of quality machines. You know, those are the people who are like the average homeowner who are actually selling their own machine. And they're not people that we're going to really deal with because they're selling it for prices that we really can't negotiate with them. Like there'll be nothing off the top for us. So the photos are quality, the ads are terrible. But I like watching those because it's interesting. They're selling the same machine we are, or very similar, for very similar prices. And they'll have theirs sitting for so much longer than we will. And here's what I'll tell you. All day, every day, I believe the reason we are so good at what we do, and the reason he's so good at what he does, is because of the trifecta. It's the ad, it's a quality ad. And I don't care what anyone will sit here and say. When you have a quality ad, quality photos, and I'm not talking one, I'm talking when people can swipe around the machine. They want to see the front angle, the side angle. If you got a picture of the blade, even better. When people have a full package of photos, a good ad, and then I got to tell you, part of our trifecta is either I like to seal a deal, prices and all, before going to the sale. He's a great negotiator when he gets there. That's, I believe, our trifecta. That's why I believe our machines are flying faster than even the homeowner who's got this gorgeous picture of a gorgeous machine, crappy ad, but similar machine, and it's sitting there for weeks. I like looking at the analytics that way. I like seeing what's out there. I don't like being put in a category of just the average flipper. We are not the average flipper. And when I hear, and it doesn't bother him when someone calls him that.
I'm not insulted.
When I hear someone say flipper, I'm not going to lie to you. That leaves a little bit of a tang in my mouth, only because just like if someone were to say, oh, you tutor, I want to almost spit back and say, excuse me, I run a remediation service. I have 9 degrees, almost a doctorate, and the quality of I test, I do everything. Tutor, excuse me? There's a quality of difference in service that you're going to get in the machines that we're giving and what was done to them beforehand. I've seen flippers. I've seen what a flipper is selling. And to me, it's
just like
different.
there are different
Different.
There are different levels and variations to flippers, but you could group us all in the same thing. That's what we do.
And so what I'm going to say to that is we are most definitely a different quality of a flipper. That's why we're as successful as we are. Yes, we are. Because you know what? I've seen the guys who are pushing the photo of the machine in the weeds or the POS at a full asking price.
Let them do that. I don't know why you're upset.
Because I just
let them do that.
People are definitely.
I don't understand where you're going with this. I don't agree. I do not agree.
Well, people in the chat are clearly understanding, so we'll let it go because you're not paying attention. You're on your phone. Chris, yeah, this is stuff. So Chris, there's different levels of lifts. What the Mister is going to want in his setup is going to be something totally different. I'm imagining you're talking more of like a machine like lift. The Mister, we're going for like a true lift. I don't know what the name would be, honey. Like what
so I want to have 2 lifts automotive style and maybe 1 for small engines. You know, I don't know. The small engine stuff is, you know, I could always work how I work. That's the way I am. I would do 1 4-post lift. That would be for storage and for work if I ever need it to be. You know, with us, we like to hold on to things, especially snow blowers and stuff like that. So with a 4-post lift, I could put boards, and that becomes 2 stores of storage up top on the lift, storage underneath the lift. And then the 2-post lift would just be, you know, for automotive use, and then potentially maybe just a small little lift for the small engine repairs. And that's about it. That's the lift, you know, I'm going for.
But from what I'm looking at in the chat, Chris, you're talking more about these movable, like mower or small lifts.
I got a table lift for my birthday since November. I did a video on it, and I really haven't even launched it. I'm just at heading content. And to be honest with you, I tried using that lift like once on a lawnmower, and I got so aggravated, I just took the lawnmower off of it, and I worked on the ground, and it was, best for me. By the time you pump it up and do all this other stuff, I already have the carburetor part or whatever I got to do, to it. I have a method to my madness. Part of my method to my madness, a good video of that is I have a video called Life in the Day of a Small Engine Mechanic or something, and it's me in the driveway.
Yeah.
And that's just me doing it without a lift table, and you'll understand why a lift table to me, for the most part, is, to me at this point, it's kind of useless. I've used it for storage. I used it for a video, but
you did that's a backpack blower on it.
Yeah, I think I did a blower on it, but for me to throw a mower on a lift table, it's just not, me. You guys would probably get a better video out of that, which is fine, but I need to take care of me first, and you guys will come second some sort of way. But it does make a good video, but there's just,
I do believe, if memory serves me right, that's the hydraulic, like 500-pound lift one from Harbor Freight, I believe.
Yeah, that's what they get it from.
Which is a nice lift table for what it is.
I do notice that it leaks down over time. I don't know if it's supposed to leak down over time, but it does leak down over time. It shrinks. I put it up, I check back the next day, and it shrinks a little bit. I don't know.
It could be user error on our part.
Yeah,
We're not sure. I
know Bruce spoke about, and I think someone else in the chat too says you should be putting, Bill Martini says that, you put a bigger board on it so you could fit, a bigger machine on there. I just have no interest in doing that, right now. It just doesn't fit my style, but I also feel it's a little bit of more comfortability. I'm more comfortable and just been doing the way I'm doing things. You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah. So it seems like, David, you're kind of sporting what we have with that plywood.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Excellent. Bear has something a little bit different. The Black Widow brand.
Okay. Very nice. We'll have to look that up. Well, we'll have to Google image that.
Okay. Mowers and Blowers Outdone says, I get people who want delivery. They don't even see or test. I tell them to come look, pay up front, and delivery free. How do you handle this?
Mowers and Blowers Outdone. We did a video about how we handle delivery and stuff like that. It just happened, a really good video. I think it was like I dropped it on a Monday. What was that? I flipped the generator and I lost money. Check out that video. But to answer that question, certain machines I will deliver, and certain machines I just won't. I mean, it'll fit in your car. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But generator, snowblower, potentially a package deal, or a higher end lawnmower, absolutely I will deliver. Delivery is additional. That is not free. I do not work for free. Do you work for free? People ask me if I do things for free.
Time is money.
And I ask them, my first one, do you work for free? And if the answer, then that's just not how it works. This is not a charity, even though sometimes we do. We do.
It depends on the scenario.
Yes. So if I have to deliver something, you must pay the delivery fee up front, non-negotiable, even though I think one time we took a risk, but we were desperate for a sale. Not that we needed money, we needed space. We were desperate for a snowblower sale.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. Everyone's situation's different.
Yeah. So
we're not in this for desperate.
So we ran the gamut,
usually.
and we took a trip and the guy paid for it. But that is very, 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 very rare. This trip we took to the city, this was non-negotiable, delivery fee up front, and it is non-refundable. We have never had a deal go through the wayside after we showed up. But just because we never had that doesn't mean it can never happen. So always be prepared for the worst. We take deposits up front, non-refundable, to cover our time and resources to travel.
And they're well aware of that.
Now, if it's local, then that's a different story. When I say local, 5-10 minutes. Anything outside of 10 minutes is not local to me,
Yeah.
and that's round trip. You will have to pay something, up front, unless there's someone that we've met or connected through that can vouch for you. It's a different story within that local time frame. But if you're a complete stranger outside, you're paying up front. That's non-negotiable. For this past transaction that we did, times are changing, right? And you go in there earlier on in the streams, we always said cash only, PayPal, Venmo. This last transaction, this was not the first time this happened to us. People asked about Zelle.
Yeah.
So guess what? In order to lock in the sale, we
have Zelle.
We have Zelle now, right? And if we didn't obtain Zelle, then we could have lost that on that potential, and then he would have gave his money someplace else. That was a painless, beautiful transaction. That generator sale, the guy didn't even want to start. We rolled it out of the car, and he wanted to hear. I'm like, let me just show you how it starts. Okay, let's go. Okay,
he was very pleasant.
Didn't even look at it, and I felt stupid because I forgot. No, that's right. I brought a die grinder. He didn't even want to see me hook up the die grinder. He just want to hear it run, and he was on his merry way. Too bad, so sad. So, like I said, we're starting to. Well, we always have, right? We always had PayPal. We started doing Venmo. And this was the third time just in general, between snow removal and everything else, people asked for Zelle. We said no. So I figured now it's the time to expand horizons. Something like that is free. But then again, to me, it's like how many accounts can you have?
Well, that goes directly to, we have.
There's probably one thing we will never take.
It's directly to our holders.
We will never take Cash App. I think we agree on that.
Yeah.
I'll never take Cash App. That is a personal preference or choice. I'm not going to explain why, but that's just us. We'll take other forms of payment, zero Cash App, and that's just for what I've seen local to us and observe. Cash App is not for me. There's loopholes, and individuals expose those loopholes with Cash App. So I am going to deny, and that's just not. I will lose a sale because no.
Yeah.
Not happening. So that's also another thing too, right? Change of the times.
Yeah.
You have to change. Do not let the times pass you by. When someone wants to hand you money, that's what we were talking about when we put machines away. We want, when someone makes an offer of machine in storage, I want that machine to them hopefully that same day or within 24 hours, because then they have time to think. Then somebody else could post maybe a better deal or something could happen. So when someone wants to hand you money, for the most part, you want to take it. Or
if you're getting that person who it's like the end of the summer and they're buying a snow blower, so you're pulling snow. You don't want someone to sit there and be like, oh, why am I buying a snow blower? It's like the end of August.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want someone to reflect on what they're doing. That gives them too much time.
Like I lost the backpack blower sale just because I worked a crazy day on Monday. Next day, I changed my mind. My wife and I were going to hire a landscaper. Whether he's telling the truth or not, that's a different story. Yeah. But if I would have worked a decent day, I would have sold a backpack blower. So that's just the way it works out. You want to try and get that machine to them the same day. Yeah. Always make that effort. Yeah. Like I said.
We always say, cash is king. He'll say to me quite often, Chris, I really need to work on X, Y, and Z machine so we can go ahead and get it posted. Or he'll say to me, Chris, I got to pick up this one mower, but I got a guy who wants to buy, and my words to him are always going to be.
You always say, make money before we spend it.
I always say, make that money, honey. Get that money. If someone wants to hand you money, take it.
Within reason.
Within reason. Yes.
Within
reason. Gravely, man, I am such a firm believer. Your reputation is everything. Please, in life, do not ever to make a lousy buck jeopardize your reputation. Your reputation will always supersede you and follow you. And that one lousy buck that you made that made you look like a dirty dog could one day follow you.
Of course,
please keep your morals, values in check to keep your reputation. I'm a firm believer in that. Thomas, congratulations. I'm going to keep my pinky toes and my little toes and all my things crossed for you for 2:00.
Good evening, Brenda. How are you? It's past 9 o'clock. I have to pick up that repair.
Okay,
for
so we'll just
9:30.
make sure
I
we got everything in here real quick.
Unless you want to handle the stream, I gotta go.
Hold on. Aw.
Yeah, they call him a flipper, but they don't know he's an amazing diesel mechanic.
You are too, brother. You are too. Manu,
We're all
another
good.
hard worker. Another hard worker over there. Oh. We got
Okay.
that coming soon.
So the scooter, okay, that was, you guys look in the background, there was snow. Now we are well beyond no snow. So that scooter is long gone. My buddy is riding it and he is loving it. And hopefully I never see it ever again. So what I did to that scooter is a new throttle cable. I freed up the brakes, aired up the tires, rebuilt the car, new fuel lines, tank grommet, and fuel filter. He had one of those like polished horn pipes on there. He wanted that uninstalled and the exhaust kept factory. Crazy part is he says that there's a plow attachment for it, and he says he wants me to hook it up. And I said I never heard of that in my entire life.
A plow on a scooter.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this scooter is over
Sam, what you think about that?
10 years old, so things are different back then. Things a little gimmicky. It's a cool little scooter. So he's in a different town. He's using it to buzz around town and visit his friends, that are local. That's all.
Do we need some liability
Yeah,
insurance before you?
Yeah. So basically, due to COVID, he's not working as much as he should, just the way it is. So he's just using the scooter, to have fun, keeping himself busy.
Oh, but anyway, on that note, the Mister has got to get cranking. I've got to get cranking.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yes, as I know, Uncle Ed and I, Polar Bear Ed and I have been keeping track of this. Remember today on your way out to give a smash up if you had a good time. YouTube had announced they were going to, over the summer, it's going to be by August. You're going to be able to know who those lost souls who give the thumbs downs are.
Who
I
cares?
see we
Why
have
do
a
you
lost
care?
soul in the crowd. No, Uncle Ed announced it on his last live too. Guys, lives are something that you don't have to come to. So sorry if someone's feelings were hurt in the chat today. My God. We love having you here. We always have a good time. But remember, everything in life's a decision. You can choose to work hard or not. You want to make that money, you're going to have to work hard. We're all so talented. We all have something to give. And at the end of the day, you're amazing. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you listening. We've got some fun things coming your way. We're going to be busy. We got good weather coming this week. And for those of you who are pushing out your spring equipment, we hope the spring gods shine down on you this week for some good sales or good repairs. And make sure if you are not subscribed to subscribe, hit the notifications and a thumbs up. And we will catch you on the next one. We hope you are kind to one another and enjoy.
Do you take care of each other no matter what is going on in this world? Somebody out there will need help. It doesn't have to be financially, just a small gesture, a smile, a compliment is free, right? So with that being said, take care of those. Take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Rest. Do whatever you can on the weekend. And we wake up on Monday to do it all over again.
And remember to be good because the Easter Bunny is coming before you know it.
Oh, God. That too. All right, guys.
You don't want coal in your basket.
Later.
Later.